Hey guys, my name is Teresa. I'm not your lawyer, but I'm a lawyer, and I collect facts like snacks. And one of the facts that I wanted to remind you is that the U.S. Supreme Court has always been an architect of institutionalized racism in this country. I was just walking my dogs and I remembered this seminar that I took in law school called African Americans and the Supreme Court. And at first I thought we were going to be like reading opinions by Thurgood Marshall and Clarence Thomas, because those were the two African Americans on the Supreme Court at the time. And instead, we reviewed all of the Supreme Court decisions that legalized slavery, that decided, Black people were chattel and property and not human beings. We read the opinions that legalized Jim Crow. We read the opinion that legalized, the internment of Japanese Americans during, the World War. And just like how the US Supreme Court has legitimized racism. And that's happening today. And we see it happening today with the fact that, the US Supreme Court has just given ICE this carte blanche authority in unprecedented ways. And the question of whether or not these officers actually have immunity needs to be brought before the Supreme Court, which is why I say, I hope that Renee Good's widow files a federal suit, alleging that her wife's civil rights were violated. She could do so in a Bivens claim. And hopefully that we need to know, I think, definitively that question, or the answer to that question. Does ICE really have the immunity that Steve Miller and Trump seems to think that they have? Can ICE really kill American citizens and then be protected from investigation, let alone prosecution? But if the Supreme Court does decide that, then that would also be consistent with its history in, being an architect of the evaporation of civil rights.